Hi there everyone, Jus4SweetZ here again. Today we're going to make something fun and easy and delicious. We are going to make vanilla bean scones, and scones are very simple to make and really delicious for breakfast or snack, you know, to go with your coffee or you know, if you're having a party. So we're going to get started here, and you're going to see how easy this is. You want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees, which I'm going to do right now. You want to get that going. Then you want to line a cookie sheet with some parchment paper. And that's what we're going to place the scones on. And let's get going here. So we need to start with 2 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour. And I'm using my 1/2 cup scoop because it fits in my canister. So we're going to need 4 of these to make 2 cups. And then we need 1/3 of a cup. And then you'll need some extra flour on the side to pat these out. Okay, so we'll leave that there. We need 1/4 cup of excuse me, I have the hiccups I think already. My other canister out. We need 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. This is just white sugar. You don't want these overly sweet. Remember, scones are kind of like a biscuit. Plus, we're going to put a nice sweet glaze on the top of them. So you want this to stay more like a biscuit. Okay, so we put our 1/4 cup of white sugar in there. And then we need 1 tablespoon of baking powder. And I need to get a new spoon here. Okay, so we have a tablespoon of baking powder. And we are going to need 1/2 cup of salt. Not 1/2 cup. Hello, it's morning again. We need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So let's get our 1/2 teaspoon of salt in there. I just measure in my hand, but you know, use your little measuring spoons. I think I've been baking so long, I kind of eye everything. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to use our paddle attachment, and I'm going to start this on a slow speed because you don't want flour to go everywhere. And before I get that going and you can't hear me, you're going to want to get 12 tablespoons, yes, I said it, 12 tablespoons of unsalted cold butter, and you want to cube it up. And you want to make sure it's in cubes because it's easier to mix it together. Plus it's really cold. So I'm going to grab that out of the fridge real quick. And I pre-cubed mine last night, but you can kind of see what they look like. Just little cubes of butter. So you want to make sure that they're nice and cold, so keep them in the fridge until you need them. And we're going to start this at a low speed, get those things blending together. And then what you do is you take your little cubes of butter and you just start throwing them in there. My hands are so hot in the morning, it basically melts the butter right away from holding my coffee cup. No, I don't know. I get going right away and my body temperature rises. I have no time to waste. I have a very long day today. I work until 8 tonight, so my day is just now beginning. All right, get this out of the way. And you can turn it up a tad, but you do not want to turn this up very high because then you're going to get flour going everywhere. And what we're doing is we're mixing this until the butter and the flour mix together down to about a pea size. Now, I never have any luck with that. I cannot get it down to that pea size. And if you don't have a paddle attachment, you are more than, or a mixer like this, You can use a pastry blender if you have that and do it by hand. It doesn't have to be done with a mixer. I'm going to turn it up just a tad because then the flour starts going everywhere. And I usually just mix mine up until I see the butter and the flour have little pebbles in there. And then you're going to want to have 2 eggs ready and a ½ cup of heavy cream. Now the heavy cream is going to give it the texture and help, you know, make it moist and fluffy. If you prefer to use half and half instead, go right ahead. But I'm going to use the real thing today. I'm actually going to take these to work. All right, so then one at a time you want to add the eggs because we've got it to, let me just kind of show you real quick. I've got it, the mixture that we want. So you can see there's little coarse pieces of butter in there. And then the flour and everything is all mixed up. So that's kind of what you're looking for. It's that consistency. All right. Let's get that attachment back on. Let's get mixing. Guess I better lift the bowl first, huh? Okay. So now you want to add 1 egg at a time for a total of 2. And I just kind of let it mix for a second. Add the second one in there. It's better to usually put these in a bowl ahead of time so that you don't get shells in your mix. I've yet to learn that that technique. Just kidding. I just never think to do it until it's time to make them. Then slowly, we've got those eggs mixing in there. You want to slowly add your cream, and I just kind of pour it in there. You see this as it's going. Just so it all gets mixed and incorporated. And next, you cannot forget the star of the show, which is the vanilla bean paste. And you add approximately 1 tablespoon of vanilla bean paste. And then I break my mixer. It starts getting really thick, so you gotta watch it. Sorry about that. It scared the I don't know. Something out of me. All right, so I just want to kind of mix that up real quick. I just want that vanilla bean paste to get incorporated. Okay, so now you have a dough going. See, now if I were on TV, you could edit out those technical difficulties, but oh well, huh? Okay, let's get the mixer out of the way because we are done with this. Got to move things aside so we can have some room. Okay. So here's the dough all clogged up in the paddle. You want to just push all that down, get it out of here. All right. This is the fun part. This literally takes, if you're doing it without teaching it, I think it probably takes 5 minutes to do this. And it's so simple, and I would tell you what, they are really, really good. People will love them. I made them for my family. They were gone in 1 day. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab some flour. And you just want to put some, I have just on my countertop. You can do it on your countertop, or if you prefer to use a cutting board, you can do that as well. Make sure your countertop is clean. Okay, so all we did was pat some flour down. Let me back this up a little bit so you guys can see. There we go. Okay, and I'm not even going to use a rolling pin for this. I'm just going to use my hands. And it seems to work great because the dough is so nice and thick. Okay, let's get all this stuff out of here really quick. All right, so here's our dough. Freshly mixed. You can see what it looks like. It's just like a little ball of yumminess. Okay, and I kind of get some flour on both sides of this dough. And all you want to do, you don't want to overwork it, but all I'm doing is patting it out, and you're going to put it into an 8 or 9 inch circle diameter. And you can use a rolling pin if you like. I don't, you know, sometimes I'll use one, but my hands work too. And all you want to do is just kind of shape it into that circle, get everything even. See, you can do things without a rolling pin. Okay, and I just kind of keep working the dough. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm patting it down, and I determine it by what a layered cake looks like, because I usually use an 8 or 9 inch pan for that. So that's how I'm determining the size of this. Now you can also get a cake pan out if you want to really measure it and put it on top and see. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact. It's just an approximate. Okay. Now we're going to cut this. You want to get a nice sharp knife. See how we have it in our circle? Just using our hands. I have it pretty even. Beat it up a little bit if you want to. Show it some love. Okay. Now we're going to take it and we're going to cut it in half this way. And cut it in half. Get your stuff out of the way. And this way. Then we're going to cut those each into a pie shape. So basically we're cutting a pie. All right. We've got little pieces of pie scone. Okay, so then you want to get your baking sheet ready with parchment paper. Now, I just baked some scones on this one. I don't use my dirty paper, but because I just baked them, I'm going to go ahead and reuse this piece of parchment paper. And all you want to do is pick these up gently. And you want to kind of just start placing them on that parchment paper. Just like that. Okay, we'll come around this way. And we'll pick these up and start placing these. And I just kind of stagger them, you know, so that we don't get everything mixed together. All right, so there's our scones all placed out. Then you want to have a little egg wash ready, and all I did was take 1 egg, mix it up with a little bit of water. So you want to have your egg wash ready, and we're going to just put a little bit on the top of each scone, and that's going to give it a nice brown color, make it look beautiful. So brush that egg wash on there, just a light coating on the top. Now if you wanted to do these without the glaze on the top, this is the point where you could add like some thick granulated sugar or some cinnamon or whatever you want to add to the top of these and bake it right on there. Okay. So done with the egg wash. Just coat it well. Now the oven is preheated to 400 degrees. We're going to stick these in there for 15 to 17 minutes. Make sure you start checking them at around 14 minutes because everybody's stoves vary, and you don't want them to get too burned. You just want them to be a nice golden color. And so we're going to put these in the oven. Set that timer. And then let's clean up this mess. And I have some pre-baked scones for you. So let's get this all cleaned up because now I'm going to show you how to make that lovely vanilla bean glaze that goes over the top. That's so simple. You'll be able to do it in your sleep. Okay. Okay, so magically the scones are done. This is why I was baking. There they are. You can see that they're a nice golden brown. Took them off the pan and just stuck them on a plate. There they are before they're iced. You have 8 beautiful golden brown scones. See, this is what the egg wash does to them. All right, so let's put those aside and let's get on to the sweetness here. Okay, so what we need now is powdered sugar, and I am going to use about I don't know, about a quarter of a cup, because it'll go a long way. So just put about a quarter of a cup in there, because we are going to add some heavy cream to this. Again, if you prefer not to use heavy cream, you can use half and half. Now we need some vanilla bean paste, because again, this is a vanilla bean scone, and I'm going to add approximately about a half a teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. Now, vanilla bean paste you can get at a specialty store, or you can get at Ross or TJ Maxx. This is where I get mine, and it's a much better deal. And I go through one about every 2 weeks, so I'm getting close to needing a new one. All right, so now what you want to do is you want to take your heavy cream or your half and half and just kind of pour it in there, and you're going to want to do a tablespoon at a time until you get it to the consistency that you want. And I'll show you. You just keep mixing, because it'll look like it's going to be not very runny, and then it ends up being too runny. This is too runny. So, and I probably only added less than a tablespoon of heavy cream. So I don't want it much thicker than this, but just a little bit. So I'm going to add maybe a tablespoon of powdered sugar to this. Just like I said, everything with a glaze you add in increments. Now, if you wanted to make this like a different glaze, you could still add a little bit of vanilla bean paste, but instead of using the heavy whipping cream, use orange juice and give it a little bit of a citrus flavor to go on top of your scone. All right, so that's the consistency you want. See, almost like a frosting. Okay. All right. So now we're going to place this on top of the scone, and I'm just going to use the spoon and just kind of place it on there and spread it out. You can do it when it's warm. They melt a lot easier. It melts, but you can do it this way as well. These are cooled off. So I just kind of add a little bit onto the top of each one and just kind of mix it on there. And I just scrape that bowl to get it all. Just spread those on there. You're just trying to give it a nice light glaze. Just like that. Don't mind my fingers, you know they're clean. You heard me washing them. Alright. And you can add more than this. You just have to make a little bit more. I'm just adding a light little topping to it. Right, and there you go. There's your vanilla bean scones, done that fast. They're really good with the holidays coming up. You can serve them at brunch for Christmas, or bring them to Thanksgiving, or you know, just at a family breakfast or function. They're easy, they're delicious. You can substitute a little bit of that heavy cream for orange juice if you like in the icing to give it a little bit of a different flavor. So we'll go over those ingredients one more time. You need 2 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then you want to get 12 tablespoons of cold unsalted butter cubed up. Mix that together. Add 2 eggs, 1 at a time, and then you're going to add your heavy cream and vanilla bean paste and mix that all up. Get a floured surface, pat it out into an 8 or 9 inch diameter, cut it into a pie shape, put it on a baking sheet with parchment paper on 400 degrees for 15 to 17 minutes. Don't forget to put your egg wash on before you stick those in the oven. And then you make your glaze, which is basically just powdered sugar, vanilla bean paste, and heavy cream or juice, and place those on top, and they're ready to serve. You can even cut them in half if you want smaller ones. And you have a delicious vanilla bean scone. And I hope you had fun with this. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Please feel free to share this on Facebook with your friends and family and let other people see what I do. That would be great. You can go to my Facebook page. And if you're not a subscriber, I hope you subscribe. I hope you enjoy the things we do. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day and God bless.